Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy, and I am coming at you today with my inky thoughts and reflections on my currently inked by the week rather than by the month. Now, I'm not really sure how this is going to completely work just because this is the first time I've done it, and I have some thoughts and we'll see from here. All right, so the first one up is, oh, excuse me, I'm getting lint everywhere. The first one up is my TWSBI Eco in the hot pink with rosy maple moth pink in it. And I only used it twice, but I did do my morning pages with it both those days. I really love this ink and I love this broad nib with it. I can't say anything bad about it. And the nice thing is that I like that it's in my TWSBI. You can see I had this thing completely full. So you can see how much ink I did use in a week. I didn't expect this one to be emptied, but the amount of ink I used is really nice to see that I'm actually using my pens. And maybe even, you know, it's one of those things where, yeah, I only used it twice, but I used it for morning pages with the Artist's Way, and those are 3 pages, long form, every morning, free thought, just kind of stream of consciousness, letting everything go. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I didn't write it, but I'm gonna just say happy. And I'm gonna keep it inked. This one is one of those where it goes in my TWSBI case that I haven't shown yet, but it is in my TWSBI case normally, but I did put it in my weeks currently inked. So what I've been doing, and I have a couple extra pens in here, but what I've been doing is this fits 12 pens and I'm sticking to 8 to 10 pens per week. And I take this everywhere with me, then it's ready to go. And I have that. And then I coordinated my art supplies. I have this a little bit fuller than it was at the beginning of the week because I did go on a trip. So I added a couple extra colors, but I have Tombows, Neo colors, and colored pencils in here. And so, and I have this too. This has been like my favorite thing ever. And it is getting smaller and smaller by the minute. And I will talk about that in another video because I'm really excited. But yeah, so this currently inked is kind of working, right? Or I think so. So then, yeah, this one I'm going to keep in my TWSBI case. It's going to leave my currently inked case. It may flip-flop between the two because I do think it fits with this next week, but I am going to at least put it back in its TWSBI spot for now. Okay, so the next pen is, whoops, the next pen is my Benu Pixie. And I actually used this so many times and I used it up. I did use it for morning pages, one of the mornings, I can't remember which one, but I emptied this. This one is, when this one got emptied, and then I refilled it, and I am just going to carry this on throughout as like a travel pen. And if I decide that it works with my currently inked for a week, I will at least put it in there. But right now, I love this. I love my Pixies. I don't know if I've said this enough, but I love my Pixies. And again, especially with my semi-disappointment with the Esterbrook Niblet, which you can check my video out in my channel, it just reinforced my love for the Pixies because they're such a good price. I personally think they're better built than the Niblets, and they're less than half the price of a Niblet. So yeah, that's my hot take. And I you know, I'm still using my Niblet, so the jury's out, but the first week that I've had it, I haven't even had it a week and I kind of like meh already over it. So my Pixies. I do like that with these converters too. I know I emptied it. Like I know I wrote it dry, not emptied. I wrote it dry because, and these converters are small. So if I decide, you know, I'm kind of sick of Sailor Ink Studio 135, I will be able to write this dry pretty quickly. But right now, this is like a friend pairing for a while. I did have Kobe Light Rose in here for a couple months, and I still love Kobe Light Rose, but I'm feeling this purpley pink fuchsia color that this is. It's just so beautiful. I really do like Sailor Ink Studio 135. So yeah, that one is going to stay inked, and this one I will just keep in my currently inked travel bag and use it when I feel necessary, but it won't pop back in my tracking because I know I use it. I know it's one I'm going to reach for because I was reaching for it. I think there were even a couple days where I used it like a little bit, but I didn't use it for a planning session or something like that, so I didn't track it, but I know I used this more than the 4 times that I tracked it. So, and I already wrote about it because I did re-ink it. I was like, oh yes, this may be permanent pairing love is what I said. Okay, the next one was this Decimo here, and I actually used this the most. I am really loving my Vanishing Point Decimos. I don't know what it is lately, but I just feel like I finally have discovered the love for them, and I can't stop using them. I want to take this pen everywhere with me, and I kind of have. And so because this one is at a lower price point than my other one, I do use this one just a little bit more, but I wrote it dry, and now it is inked up with Robert Oster's Dusky Pink because I really wanted to try and see what Dusky Pink looked like. And let's see here, just gonna rip the important stuff off. I don't have this in my currently inked lineup just because I don't know how long it's gonna last, but this one is my first sample of Dusky Pink, and I'm not sure about it if it's any different than any of my other ones, but I do have 2 samples of Dusky Pink, and in the swatches they look different, and so I don't know what's the right color. I don't even know if my samples are the right color, but this one's pretty. I don't know if it's any different than my Sailor South Dakota, and so I want to compare that too. But yeah, that's why I have it in here, and I'm not tracking it just because it's more, I'm kind of writing with it just to see if I like this ink color. If not, I may pass my samples along because I still have, since I have 2 of them, I still have 3 milliliters in one and 4 in the other. So I just want to make sure that it's getting used or going away. That's kind of, I'm getting better at that. So yes, but Summer Purple was great. But I did get bored with it by the end of the week. This is working because I know myself and I know how I get. So the next one is my Mont Blanc Ultramarine Blue. It's Blue Ultramarine, or however they say it in French. In my Esterbrook SD with the journaler's nib in Nouveau Blue. And I like this. I used it for morning pages. It's just still here. So I am going to keep this. I'm going to carry it over. I even wrote, it's you know, about half empty. And I used it 3 days. So I was reaching for it, but I had to remind myself to reach for it. And it wasn't my favorite of the week. I would say these 3 were my favorite, but I still liked it. So I will keep this ink in there, and it will stay in my carry, like my carry with me bag, but it's not one I'm going to track because I'm just gonna, if I don't use it again this month, I'm just gonna empty it out at the end of the month. But I do really like this ink. It's very soft, and I don't have any other blue really quite like it. There are blues and purples that are similar, but this one is just an interesting blue ink. I can't explain it, but it's almost gray leaning, but not gray leaning. I don't know. It's just it's a lovely ink. It doesn't remind me personally of ultramarine blue, like actual ultramarine blue, when I think of a watercolor or like the actual shade, but it is very stunning because when I think of ultramarine blue, I will pull this out. This is why I'm saying this. Oh, do I not have it in here? Well, never mind. I will be right back. Okay, I couldn't find my Tombow, but I do have my Prismacolor. I could pull out watercolor too, but this is easier. But when I think of ultramarine, I think of this. This is exactly what I think of for ultramarine. It's very vibrant, and it's a really cool toned blue. It's not warm. This is on the cool side. I always have to remind myself because it's kind of hard to remember what cool versus warm means in colors, because each color is either cool or warm, which is so weird to me, and I'm still learning it myself. So I had somebody ask me if I could do some color theory on here and like explain some of the terms I use. I will, yes, but I do need, with this kind of thing, I do need to like look it up. But when you look at these, okay, so one of the things somebody asked me about was saturation. And when I say what does desaturated mean, see how vibrant this blue is? Just bold and bright and vivid and full of pigment, full of color. And then when you put it up to here, this one is softer and lighter because it's been grayed. So gray means it's taking the color away, so it's desaturating it. If you didn't know that. If you did, great, but some people don't. So that's what, when I say that, that's what I'm saying. And so it's interesting because this to me is more like Asagao, which I do have in a pen before I clean it out, but I do have Asagao, which is definitely closer to that ultramarine, I think, than one that's called ultramarine blue. But yeah, you can they almost match identical, and that's the colored pencil and the ink. So it's interesting what they call inks, or you know, and where they decided to name that, because I know it's after one of an artist. So what inspired them and why did they choose that name? And yeah, so it's just that kind of stuff just fascinates me. All right, so this one, carrying over, moving to the next one, just a little bit of why, because I'm a giant nerd, that's why. And the next pen is this beautiful, beautiful Nagasawa Original Pilot Decimo Vanishing Point. And it has a broad nib, it's gold, it's beautiful. I love this. I wrote this dry by the 7th. And then I did ink this up again with a different color. And I went with Robert Oster's Romeo and Juliet. And I didn't know right now if it was one I wanted to track. So the reason for this one is that I don't want to track it. Look at that color. Oh, I love Romeo and Juliet. The reason I don't want to track it, again, is I'm reaching for these pretty much every day. These two have become kind of like my daily drivers. And so I'm trying, since I know I'm reaching for them, the way I feel is I know I'm reaching for them. So either I'm going to use them or I'm going to clean out the ink, and I'm going to, because I just felt it in me. By day 7, like both of these, I wanted a different color in it because I am using them that much. And I'm really glad that this is a broad and a medium nib because it does go a lot faster. But I was finding myself using this and coming up with reasons to write so I could get rid of my summer purple. And by the end, I was like, you know what? You have this tiny little bit, not even like 3 drops, you know, or you have like 3 drops, like from a pipette in there. Just let that go. Just let it go. And if you really want to throw, like next time, I didn't this time, if I really am worried, I can just put it in a ceramic palette and paint with it. So reminder to myself that if you really want to dump out the ink, dump it out. I used to be okay with that, and all of a sudden I've been kind of iffy on it. But I just discovered, because of other people talking about her, I just discovered Wendy Sue here on YouTube, and she was talking about how she will dip her Kakamori nibs and have to use every ink to the very last drop, but if it's in a pen, she'll drop it like it's hot. Loved it. Loved it. So yeah, I need to get better at that again, because I used to be really good at it, and now I'm kind of more, I must use up the ink. I think it's just that sense of I used it up. That feels really great. Okay, so now this is the weird thing with 6 and 7. I'm going to talk about them together because I know I love this Esty with my mini stub, with in my winter white. This is a gift from my husband. I say it pretty much every time, and it's the only pen that my husband's ever gifted me. I love it. I love it so much that I have worn out the gold on the Esterbrook, so you can't even see it anymore. And I just love this pen. It is inked all the time. And this is one of my newest Benus, and it's the Northern Gold with a fine nib. And I love this pen, and I love writing with this pen. It is one of my most comfortable pens. However, I was having a lot of trouble with my eyes, which is not a normal thing, but my glasses, I got new glasses last month. I think it was last month, just recently. Either way, it's been pretty recent that I got new glasses, and they've been really bothering my eyes, and these bright colors were hard for me to work with. Normally they're not, but just last week they were really bothering my eyes. So you can see that I didn't use them. I used it once and it was too late to read, and then I tried using it again and it worked out, but I just was really struggling with them. So they are actually going to get cleaned out and put away for this week at least, if not next week, but I will pull them back out because I do love both these pens so much. I'm trying to give some love to my other pens. So you'll see that this week because I don't have any Estes inked for the week except for the one that I'm carrying over. So I'm really proud of myself because I'm trying other pens. But yeah, it's really hard to let these go. And there's nothing wrong. Like, these are both very legible, but the brightness was just too much for my eyes, which is weird. Because then halfway through the week, I switched into my contacts, and for some reason, my contacts are doing better in my eyes for the first time in years. So I don't know what's going on. I just know that these kind of things do affect how I am using my pens, and so I just have to think about that. But I did love how this looked with some of the sticker themes I picked, so I was kind of bummed that they weren't working, but I know that they will work again in the future, just not last week. And then my final one is my Mayfair's No Door in Caffeine Addiction, and I'm still struggling with this one. This one, I'm not sure if it's comfortable. And then I watched Heather Marie Plans talk about hers and how she writes, like, holds it down here. So I'm going to try it, but I wrote with it a couple days and it just was not really all that comfortable. I don't know if you've had a Mayfair No Door, let me know, but I might have to pass this on and sell it to someone because it is such a beautiful pen. It needs to be used, but it's also, I don't know why, because I thought this would be great. I thought this would be a great pen because the look of it looked really similar to my Antoinette's, but for some reason, I don't know what it is. It must be the shape in here, but yeah, it was really uncomfortable after a couple writing sessions. But sometimes I've noticed too, at least for myself, some pens will be super comfortable one time and then the next time I will hate them. So I don't know, but this is really helping to figure out which pens I am enjoying and which pens I'm not. So I've gotten these ideas from everyone else, and seeing other people really think about their pens and what they're using has been super helpful in me trying to figure out my pens. And so yeah, that's been kind of what I have done for the week currently inked wise. Now I have a bunch of planner stuff, but I'm going to put that in a different video because I want to talk about what I am carrying over for this week for planning and what's working, what's not working kind of thing. And I'll set that up in another video. So we're gonna just move forward and flash forward to this week's currently inked. I have a lot of videos that I'm kind of filming around at the same time. So if I repeat myself in videos and you're watching, just stick around and sit, because there is going to be different stuff in each video. It's just that what's happening in my life right now is affecting me in all aspects. So yeah, that's where we're going to start here. And I just wanted to give you that little forewarning before I get into what inks I chose and why, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so first I want to talk about my currently inked setup for the week. I went with little boxes because I thought maybe that would be a little nicer. And I wanted to bring out some stamps again. I like coloring in the stamp, and some days I'm just not feeling as motivated to do doodles. I love doodling, as you all should know by now. I love doodling, especially with my fountain pens, but right now this week, my mantra, or whatever word you want to use there, my just feeling and emotion is to be gentle on myself. Today is August 11th. This is the morning when I'm filming this, and it will go up this afternoon, but today marks 2 months since my dad passed away. And then on the 15th would have been his 80th birthday. So this week is just going to be a tough week. I have been having a lot of feels. We went on a family trip this weekend with my sister, my mom, and a lot of not great stuff happened between the family just because we weren't quite ready for a family trip. And missing my dad has been very hard. And, you know, life does have to continue, but it's also very, very hard at times when you've lost someone and you're grieving. And then I have discovered and thought a lot about it, but you know, that he was the pinnacle of loss for me. I've lost other people. I've lost aunts and uncles before and cousins and things, but you know, you have a dad and you only have one unless you're lucky to have more, but he was my dad, and so this is the hardest loss I've gone through, and it's really putting things in perspective for me, kind of thought process wise, because I have borderline personality disorder, and educating myself on what happens in my brain because my brain is developed differently over the years has been very enlightening for me to understand and be gentler with myself going through things. One of the things I learned in my reading up and trying to understand how to handle my emotions and recognize the symptoms that are happening is to understand that disappointment can feel like somebody dying. So I have really strong emotions. I have emotions that are not regulated the way a normal person's brain is regulated. And so I have to remember that because I am really hard on myself. I will shame myself into just telling myself that I am awful. So this week, knowing and planning that it's going to be a tough week, I really wanted to think about things that made me happy, think about things that felt gentle and felt just like something that was comforting. And for me, that is cuteness, that is pink, and that is purple, and that is girly. And so I picked, you know, words like sweet, and I picked these because I have kind of been getting out of my comfort zone in my planning and everything. You can look, I'll show you, if you look back in even just July, my July was very much so a different vibe. This was my July color scheme. So this is not my normal color scheme. This is what I've been gravitating towards. And what's really great is that I subscribe to the Cat Collage Club, and I have picked out different stickers and things that really fit with this more muted tonation of colors that's more natural, because like my currently inked for that month was very natural and green. This is not that. This is getting back to my cuteness, my happiness, my pink, the things that I love, the sparkly. That's what I was going for. And of course, I went with a girl. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be Belle from Beauty and the Beast, you know, like Beauty and the Beast retelling. I'm pretty sure that's this set was. But I picked her. She looks scared. She's running down the hall because she's in a gothic novel. And so this just all spoke to me. Very much so. And bunnies, because bunnies are important. So I picked out two using stamps from BGM ink that I grabbed from Atlas the last time BGM got restocked. I really love these. I used this one for my inky reflections, and I used this one for filling in the ink. And then I also used, where did it go? I also used my TWSBI Diamond 580 with a medium nib, and this is Diamine Forever Raven. I am giving this a chance for the week or the month as I try to figure out which black pigment ink is my favorite, and then I'm going to be doing a video on that and explaining why this one's my favorite versus this one. So stay tuned, it's coming, and it will be a few weeks, but I really want to give each document black that I have in my collection a really good chance, so I can say this for me is my favorite, here's why, and actually have used them and use them in different ways. So just FYI, for that's coming, because I am finding that I really do like black lines in my planner when I'm doing things. So all right, let's go. Let's start with the pens. All right, first one up is my Myers Pen Co. MK Petite. I still love that. It's named after me. The MK. Okay. MK Petite in the blank colorway is Cotton Candy Clouds. This colorway, I just cannot stop staring at it. I cannot get over it. I cannot stop just everything. And I didn't have it inked for about a week and a half, and I was sad. So I had to ink it back up. And it right now has a rose gold Leonardo medium nib, and the ink color is a new one to me, and it is Tono and Limbs Sakura Eternal, and it is a lovely light soft pink with a really light blue shimmer. Although so this one is a sample. I did order a full bottle, spoiler, because I do that. This one is a sample from Vanessa, and I don't think mine had as much shimmer in it because I have not really seen a lot of shimmer yet, but that could just be that I haven't used it enough. But this is, yeah, this is Tono and Limbs Sakura Eternal. I had to try some of their colors and everything because yes, it's so pretty, and it is a very light ink. An MPC is what stands for Myers Pen Co, and I'm going to put MKP for Mia, MK, not Mia, MK Petite, and this one is a medium, and then this one is Cotton Candy Clouds, and I am going to write that out. And I have been having just a few issues with my Leonardo medium nib. It was giving me problems last month when I had it actually in my Winter Sunrise Mia Petite, or Winter Sunrise Leonardo Momento Zero. So I'm gonna see if I need to get this fine-tuned or if I did it myself. But I love this nib, and this color may then move to another pen. It does remind me, this ink does remind me a lot of Ferris Wheel Press's Billowing Blush, but Billowing Blush has a different shimmer in it, so I was okay with having a second bottle. And it also is very similar to Kobe's 71, which is Akutagawa Sakura Blossom, but that one has no shimmer and it's a little bit brighter, and this one's softer. So I like having those subtle differences of pink in my collection. All right, so the next one then is this beautiful Hogtown Swansea. I think this is the Swansea Small, and this colorway is called Valley Girl, and it is the diamond cast. Shauna at Serial Nana had one of her pens in this blank, and I forget the name of the studio that does the diamond cast blanks. If I remember, I will look it up maybe someday. I'm not looking it up right now because I don't have anything to look it up with near me, but it is so pretty. I fell in love with her pen, and she told me, and I reached out to Hogtown because I wanted a Hogtown pen. And I don't know if I've even talked about this on the channel, even with this, but I wanted this pen. I wanted a Hogtown pen, and they got the blank for me. And it took like 6 months to get this pen, but it is so worth it, and so I love it. I just love it. And it right now has an Esterbrook broad nib, and it is inked up with Ferris Wheel Press Malibu Blush. Fun fact about Malibu Blush, it is very, very light. I actually, when I inked this up, tried it in multiple nibs to see if I could get it to work and write, because Malibu Blush is one that I have had in my collection. It was one of my first inks I ever bought, but I could never read it. So it's just sat there. And so I thought I need to get this out. And I'm just gonna put Malibu because I should have done FWP, but in my stub, or not my stub, my broad nib on Midori paper especially, it is very legible and very, very beautiful. And I am kicking myself because I've had this ink for 3 years and it has sat. So it's no longer. And it is still just, it's still the same color it was because I did compare swatches. So it hasn't evaporated, but I'm loving her. I am loving this color. And so this is the Hogtown Swansea Broad and Valley Girl. Yeah. Thanks so much, Shauna, for this, because I had oogled your pen for so long, and now I have one. So there's that one. Okay, the next one is another pinky pen. Look at this beauty. Look at this. Ah, Jonathan Brooks Dream House blank. And this is a Walltown. See, Walltown, Hogtown, you know, naming things funny. Not funny, but this is a Walltown Watts Slim. And this is with the Jonathan Brooks Dream House blank. And this has a medium Yovo nib. I'm pretty sure this was actually the nib that came on this boy, but I've moved things around. So it has a recent discovery and love of mine, that how I waited this long to get this pink ink, I will not know. But now that I have it, I'm never letting it go. This was an $8 bottle of ink. How did I not know? I found it on Amazon. And I am kicking myself that I have waited this long. And I'm sure that you're like, Mandy, just tell me the name of the darn ink. Tell me. This is Pelikan 4001 Pink. What? What? How is this lovely? I don't know, but it has quickly shot up to one of the top places, and I've only had it less than a week. And I don't know, I took a chance on it because it was an $8 bottle of ink that I found on Amazon. And I thought, well, okay, it's very wet. So it is, in this medium nib, it is feathering a little bit, but it hasn't done that until today. So I don't know if it's I shook the pen or something, but it is, I don't care. I don't care if it feathers, quite frankly. I just love this color. And this is the Walltown Watts Slim with a medium nib. And if I really need to, I will change the nib to a fine or an extra fine because it is so wet. But it is, oh, it's just, yeah, I love it. And this is Dream House. This blank, this pen, this blank and this pen have become one of my favorites. I love this. If I find another one of these blanks, if I can find a blank, just the blank, I may get an MK made in it because that is pretty. And yes, I would love an MK in it because I love my MK. I love the way that Alan at Myers Pen Co. made this for me. Like he really did listen to all the things I wanted in a pen, and yes. Anyway, that's the MK Petite though. The MK is a little bit bigger, but I digress. That's not what this is about. But I just love my MK. Also, I just love this blank. This is not one I came up with, but I can't get enough. And how perfectly matched is this ink? There's blue shimmer in here, and there is blue shimmer in that ink. Ah, love it. Okay. We are not on number 1 anymore. We are on number 4, which is this lovely, lovely, lovely Walltown Onslow. I'm using both my Walltown pens this month, or this week. This is my Walltown Onslow. This was actually my first maker pen, and I still really like it. He had this blank that was available. This is actually another one from the same company that did this. You can kind of see that it's very similar, but it's not. This one was a one-off. They were experimenting, and it's got this really beautiful pink shimmer, and then the pink shimmer is in the grip section. And what's really fun is my Walltown Watts Slim and my Walltown Onslow can swap this section too. So that's fun. Not that I will, because I really like this, but they kind of match, so that's fun. And this one is an Esterbrook broad nib right now, and it has Schneider Lilac in it. And I just plopped that cartridge right on in there and let it go. And let me tell you, I liked Schneider Lilac quite a bit. And then I thought, I'm not sure. I thought it was really dry. I'm pretty sure it was just my pen, because now that I have it in this pen, oh my gosh, shut the front door. This Schneider Lilac, another one I need a full bottle of Schneider in. Somebody in the US, please start carrying bottles of Schneider ink. I beg you, please. It's so affordable. It's so beautiful. I love all the colors. I want a bottle of everything. Okay. Moving on. So I think it might be muggy here today because everything's feathering, and it wasn't yesterday. So I definitely think it's muggy. I have discovered these last couple weeks here when it's really muggy, my inks all feather. Go figure. I didn't know that because we've never really had wet. Like, we've had muggy summers, but not in this really wet muggy. I don't know. Because this one was a one-off and it didn't have a name because it was just a random blank and nobody else in the world has it, which is awesome. My son named it Nether Purper. I feel like it's been long enough since I did my video. That's why I'm explaining all of this, because I can. It makes me feel good. But do you see how beautiful this goes with this? It's bringing me joy. It's making me happy. It's bringing me joy, and that is what I need right now. Okay. All right. Some more pens. Here we go. I had to use my TWSBI Diamond 580 Iris. Is this my only TWSBI this week? Yes, besides my black one. My TWSBI Iris has been through the ringer. If you can see all the scratchies, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up all those beautiful scratches, but this is one of my most beloved pens. It's the one I oogled over for a long time. And finally, this was before I bought expensive pens on the regular. I thought, oh my gosh, $80 for a pen, and it went on sale at Endless with a medium nib for $60, and I scooped it up. This was a while ago, and I was so excited, and I love it. I mean, you can even see on the nib, because I've used it so much, the color is fading, but that's okay, because it is a loved pen. This is a loved pen, and it will never leave my collection. And it is with a shimmer ink. So I have 3 shimmer inks this month. So I've done one, and here's my purple shimmer. Oh, I love it. I love this one. This one is Wearing Ghoul's Grape Colored Night Glistening. So yeah, from what I understand, Wearing Ghoul had both glistening and non-glistening grape colored night, but they've discontinued the non-glistening and have kept the glistening. And I really like this glistening. It is very sparkly. It literally feels like what? And it hasn't clogged at all. Sometimes I have problems with shimmers in my TWSBIs, but this one has been pretty great. Now watch as I'm writing and it's gonna clog. I would laugh really hard. But this, yeah, this is, I just love this. I also love with my iris that most colors look fantastic in it. I think I got a lot of grease on here too. Oh goodness. I've had this page open and I wasn't really using my, I don't know what you call it, my blotter paper. Yeah, but, oh, I don't know if the camera is picking up that shimmer, but it is literally diamond shimmer. Does it pick it up? Yeah, look at how much shimmer there is. So much glitter and shimmer. It's a great one. I don't hear a lot of people talking about grape colored night. Either one, like regular or not. But this is a lovely shade of like a lilac purple that's not completely blue, but it's also not pink. You know, where Schneider lilac is more pink. Oh, it really, really, really feathered there, which is funny because it's never feathered before. But I do think there's a lot of factors here right now. So just ignore the feathering because my paper is not acting the way it normally does. Okay, the next pen I have is my Asvine P50. I think this one's just called blue and yellow. I don't know. I'm always not sure what they call them. So, sometimes I know and sometimes I don't. But this one is a medium nib. And this one has Robert Oster's Muddy Crown. Which I've had a sample of for a while, and I finally decided, you know what, let's just throw it in a pen, see what it looks like. And for a few minutes there, I thought this might be Sydney Lavender, but I don't think, I know it's not now, but I think they're pretty similar. And I have a bottle of Sydney Lavender, so I'm pretty sure that I'm probably not going to get a bottle, at least at this point, of Muddy Crown, but I like it. Oh man, my paper is, I can feel the grease on my paper from my hands. Oofda. That is really, really making things not great. Okay, but no matter how it looks on this paper, I love it because it's a very blue leaning purple and it's really pretty. And so I forgot that I had to fix this with a Monteverde medium nib, and I can't remember if I've shown this on the channel, but I do pull nibs out of the housing feed and put them in, and I can do a video on the Monteverde ones with my Asvines if you'd like. I do like don't get me wrong, I do love the way that Asvine nibs perform, but sometimes I just want a different size because their sizes aren't always the same as Western sizes, if that makes sense. Like their broad or their medium is very similar to a broad, but then their fine is kind of like in between a medium and a fine. So I always sometimes just want that medium feel. So, and I think most of my pens are either a medium or a broad this month or this week. So, because I'm doing this by week, I keep having to remind myself, this isn't what you're going to have for the whole month. You're just going to have this for a week, which I'm just excited about. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well, is that I do switch these nibs up quite often. Oh, it's writing better. I don't know what was going on there, but let's see, Asvine P50, and I'm just going to call this yellow blue. because I don't know what it's called. If you have a really good name for this one that's better than yellow, blue, or whatever they named it, I'd love to know. But I really like this one. This is the one pen, gosh, I think the one pen I was interested in, and I did, that I was really interested in trying, that I got during, what's that word that I'm thinking of? Prime Days. But yeah, I did get one pen during Prime Days. So that was this one, and I am enjoying it. Okay, so far I've only written with it for like a day. But yes, next one is one of my new Jinhaos. If you haven't caught my video, I did a video about this. I'm so excited. I have to show you again. Oh, is it showing up? Is that M showing up? I don't know because it's covered in ink. There is a medium. It is a medium Jinhao. I'm just stoked. I did stop myself at 2 mediums. I was really proud of myself. I don't need any more pens, but I did want a couple Jinhaos. And so I'm actually going to do this. I'm gonna use this BGM because I don't know where my water papers are, and sometimes I'm pure chaos when I'm in these things. I haven't said in a while, but I am pure chaos. Pure chaos. And yeah, I also wonder if, so I haven't experienced as much dry out with Jinhaos unless I'm using their converters. And so I wonder if it's less because I haven't been putting silicone grease here like people have suggested, because I was finding that it was clogging my pens. So then I actually ended up really hurting one of my nibs. So I stopped doing that. But what I have done is that my Mahjongs, my Moonmans, whatever they call them now, are they Mahjong, Moonman? But on AliExpress, they had a set of these. Oh, clearly I did not clean my pen or let my pen dry. That's going to be not good. This is a Pilot. This is a Pilot Vanishing Point. And Pilots come with these too, but these are little sets, and they actually have on, and I don't know if they have them on Amazon. I'll look and see, and if I do find them, I will share a link in my description. But I found them, and they were a pack of 5, and they had little stoppers so that you can put your ink in and then have a stopper so you can travel with it. But these fit in there, and then they have this nice, and they come with this, they have this nice metal cover that I'm pretty sure come with Pilot pens. Because this is, what is this? This is the one. Yes. Did it come with it? Yes, it did. Okay. They come with Pilot pens too. So that is one way that I think I have noticed. But yeah, I don't like Pilots. Personally, do not like Pilots converters at all. So I just syringe fill these, and that's usually what I put in my Jinhaos as well. But I have too many Jinhaos right now, and so does this one, because I have one more that I am actually cleaning out. Nope, that one does have the converter too, and I have this one I am cleaning out, but I just noticed that this one has that same drying problem. So I don't know if it's the nib or if it's the converter, but I don't know. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna do a little bit of an experiment one of these weeks. I'm gonna only ink up Jinhaos and see how that works. But this one is the only one I have inked up right now, and this is the Gradient Light Purple, and I just love it. Oh, this is beauty. I have to stay off of Amazon now because I want all the Jinhaos. Actually, you know, I don't want all the Jinhaos, but I love these gradient ones. And back in March, I ended up giving away quite a few of my Jinhaos to my students and friends. I've given them to friends too. And so I am a little less on Jinhaos in the sizes and colors that I want. So I kind of need to go through them. And this is medium, and this is Gradient Purple. Gosh, I love it. I seriously love it. And this is Pannonia Aster. I don't know if I said that because I got into talking about the not using the silicone grease and blah, 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 blah. You get my drift. Okay, so here's all the pens I have done so far. I only have 2 more. Only have 2 more. Okay. Now, this one, you should, if you watched the video, gosh, I've got something in my nail. But if you've watched the video already, this is my Asvine C80. I'm loving this pen. I inked it up with Colorverse A-Gem last week, and I mean, I haven't used it a lot, but I decided to put it in my lineup. Thought it worked really well with these colors, and it makes me really happy. And I'm enjoying this pen, and I have been trying to kind of feel my collection and remind myself, like, you don't have to have all these fancy pens. Like, I love my fancy pens, but I also want to remind myself that I was just as happy with my Asvines and Jinhaos and all that, because I do love them too. I want, and they are one that I don't get scared if I leave the house with. And this one has a giant nib. This is a giant nib. This is a size 8 nib, and look at that feed. That feed is huge. Like, look at my fingernail. I'm full of ink, but look at that finger. Like, that nib is so huge. But yeah, and this one, so this one isn't the cobalt. This is the glitter blue is what this one is called, because I had a couple people ask me on my video. This one's the glitter blue. I feel like this particular model is a hard one to get because it seems to be the most popular. But I did like this pen enough that I ended up getting 2 more because they're such a low cost. And I got the green glitter because I wanted to compare nibs. I got the green glitter, and I think this one's my extra fine. Yep, my extra fine. And I don't know if I have ink in it. I just pulled them out. Yes, I have an ink in it. I think it's Diamine Umber. Yeah. Diamine Umber. And I'm going to show you the difference. It's green umber, not just umber, and then this one is Colorverse. Because I got the green gradient before, and I think I'm gonna do another video because I just got this one. This one has my medium nib. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that coffee brown. This is coffee brown. I am obsessed with this. This one has a chemical smell. I will say, this one does have a chemical smell. I'm hoping it goes away because it makes it really not fun to use. But I do like that extra fine nib. So that's the extra fine, that's the fine, and I'll show the medium. I'm gonna do kind of tests and everything after I've used this one for longer, but I did ink this one up. I'm not doing it in my currently inked because I'm doing this for a video, because I want to compare all of them, but they're all really pretty. They have a couple other colors. This, I'm good with this because then I have the full lineup of nibs and I don't need any more. And so I'm really trying to clamp down on it, but these are another, once I've used them, maybe they're ones that I can pass on to somebody and I won't feel bad. I can enable somebody because I won't always reach for them, but also they can be fun experiment pens. I really like having pens like this for a lot of different reasons, but yeah, the green glitter seems to have like the bluish, the same glitter as this one. I really like that. I don't know which one I like more. I think I like this one more just because this reminds me of my Kraken's Midnight Tide, but I do like this. This has got kind of like a caramel color, and then it's like a gray that's glittery. This one is kind of sexy. This one I do like, but compared to my MK, now let's look at my MK. I mean, there's no comparison. This pen, This pen is also a little shorter, but this pen takes the cake. This pen is the best. Okay, anyway, so yeah, I did want to show those since I have them. I thought, oh, wait, before you go. Yes, and I'm going to do a full video. Probably be a little shorter, but let's get back to currently inked. My last one, which I think is exactly why I had to have this one, is that this is my Myers Penco Kraken's Midnight Tide. And, my ink leaked. I don't know why it did that, but it did. And I'm going to have to clean that out with a Q-tip before I plug that back up. This is one of my absolute favorite pens. I think this was my second Myers Penco pen. And I have switched so many nibs. This right now has a medium black Yovo nib, and it almost looks blue, and I love it. I love it. It's a medium. And this has Dominant Industries Le Soleil Étreté. And I am trying to decide if I need this ink more than just a sample of it, if I need a whole bottle, because I put this in one of my Tom Studio Wrens with my brush, so I've been using it as a marker. I love this color as a marker. It's a lot more subtle than in a pen. But what I did notice is this is very similar to Ferris Wheel Press's Sad Charade, and I recently picked up a bottle of that in the last like 6 months. So I'm thinking, okay, if you're trying to slow down, do you need this bottle? Do you need a bottle? Let's use the whole sample, and then let's use some of our Sad Charade next to it and see if there's really that much difference, because there is a coloration difference. This one is a little different, but is it different enough? And that's what I'm trying to decide. Do I like this one more than I like the Sad Charade? Well, then that really sucks, because then I am stuck with one that has a bottle, or stuck with a bottle that I don't like as much. And that might be something that I need to think about. And I am just going to say Kraken's Midnight Tide, KMT. So there it is. There are my inks and pens for the week. That was really long, but I also like to kind of explain my process. I want to grab a Q-tip because this does not happen. So I must have put something on wrong. All cleaned up. Not really sure what happened, but sometimes ink will leak into the pen depending on if you have it, this way. You don't want to store your pens that way, because that is just an ink accident waiting to happen. I have learned from experience and also following other people's channels. Anywho, there is my week in color, and I'm excited to use it. I feel like the colors all really flow together, except maybe this one, but I really wanted to use it. And as it dries, it gets this really pretty darker blue tone. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but it was purpley, blue, and gray. And so I thought for like my neutral, that would be really great. Otherwise I have pinks and blues and purples. And I kind of I was going with 3, and 3. So I went with 3 pinks, 3 purples, 3 blues. So I can kind of mix and match each one. So maybe use 1, 4, and 7, or 2, 5, and 8, that kind of thing. Or even just doing like 1, 3, or not 1, 3, 1, 6, and 9, and then having a little bit playing with color palettes. I thought that would be a lot of fun. And then tracking. I really do love tracking how many days I use it. If I use it, so many days, is this working? Do I like it? Am I not reaching for it? It's also a visual thing to say, oh, hey, it is August 13th, 14th, 15th, and you haven't touched this pen whatsoever. You should probably pick that up, because I inked them because I like the colors, so I should use them. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I think this video got quite long, and it's just me thinking and processing and explaining things, and I don't know, rambling. Sometimes I feel like all I do is ramble, and for some reason you all love me. I have no idea. But okay, so I did want to say that I don't know if I really don't know, because I can't remember. I've just been so all over the place. But I reached out to Vanessa because I just love their shop. Vanessa is where I get the majority of my samples, and they are wonderful. I love watching Lisa in her lives because you can just tell they have such a passion for their business. I really love shopping with businesses that have a passion and treat other people well. That's really important to me. Especially like knowing where my money is going is really important. So I reached out and asked them if they do anything affiliate wise and whatnot, and they said yes. So I now have a code with the Ness to get discounts. Some things don't apply kind of deal, but you can use my code Bookish Artist and you can get a discount on some of your pens and inks. So not everything applies. You know, TWSBI won't do discounts, that kind of stuff. So you may not get it on everything, but it's there for, especially because I do feature a lot of my samples. This was a sample. This was a bottle I bought from them. This was a sample. This was a sample. This was a sample, all from Vanessa. So I'm getting a lot of my inks from them. They do have the Kobe inks, so now you can have that. And so I was just really excited. I still have my Atlas code, and I share some of my links from Amazon. I just appreciate all that you do. These codes, because this is just my fun hobby. I'm not doing this for anything. I like to take whatever I do and put it back into the hobby so I can share on videos. Like, I would not have been able to purchase the Niblet on my own without my credit, and I was able to give you an honest review thanks to you. So that's kind of my spiel. I'm not going to go into it all the time like that. I just really appreciate all of you, and I really do pick and choose where I'm doing affiliates and where I'm doing reviews. Like, when I get offers from companies, most of the time I've turned them down because I want to make sure that I'm doing this for my hobby, but I also do this to share what I've learned, because there are questions that I had to discover answers because I wanted to find a video that didn't have it. So I hope that this helps, and I know that I really appreciate you all. I appreciate it so much. I love talking to you. I love the people who reach out and talk to me. It's so much fun. I don't always get a chance to respond to every message because busy mom, busy life, but no, I'm reading them, and sometimes I respond in my head just as I do a text message and then never get back to you. So odds are, if you have asked me a question and I haven't answered it, ask again, because I've probably seen it and answered in my head instead of on a video. But like, comment, subscribe, all the fun things, and I will see you in the next one. And let me know down in the comments if there is a color you like the most from this. Do you like this scheme? Is this too much? Is this too pinky and girly and you are gonna vomit from the girly happiness? It's making me really happy, especially with this week being really hard. So yeah. 1 second, I need to take a second. I'm gonna pause because I am going to cry. Okay, I took my pause, I'm back. We won't talk about how long that was, but I really appreciate everything, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I wish I had some sort of like lead out that was really great, but I don't, so have a great one. Bye.